Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is SKTV coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Cllr Charlyne. Today is May 16, 2023. We are glad to be here. Today is not one of our normal days of show, but we have decided today to somehow remind ourselves and our listening audience. Of late, Councillor Charlyne Brumskine name has been circulating in the social media to be a potential running mate for um, Alexander B. Cummings. So we thought a while to actually go back to the SKTV and research a little bit. We found out that July of last year, 2022, we had an interview with Councillor Charlyne Brumskine. It will amaze you to listen to some of the things he was saying, leading to what is going on right now, what is possible. In her interview, she said, when I asked her about how she became a lawyer, especially her father being a lawyer, she said, path does not, I, I don't choose path choose me. So it is very, very, very important. Secondly, despite the fact that you will listen to um, Councillor Charlyne Brumskine interview with us, you will listen to some of it, not all of it, because it's kind of like 2 hour long. We also want to take this time to debunk some of the lies and deception that were carried out yesterday by other network. Our intent is not to defend Alexander Cummings or the CPP. We are not member of the party, but we being in the social media, we social media and other media outlets, we all supposed to be doing things right. And when it comes to our country, let's be honest and fair to our people. To create lie, fabrications, deceptions, just to score political points, it's not necessary. We want to encourage you to share the show. It's very, very important. Listen to Councillor Charlyne Brumskine back in 2022, July. Okay? So listen to her. I want to welcome each and every one of you once again for another very important interview. Today we are privileged to have with us Councillor Charlyne Brumskine, the daughter of the late Charles Walker Brumskine, talking about the former standard bearer and political leader for the Liberty Party, um, inarguably the founding father of the Liberty Party. So it's going to be very much important today that we be a part of this conversation. So I want to encourage each and every one of you to go ahead and share the show and start this very, very important conversation. As always, with me today is my colleague, Steve Boley, aka Moses. And we also expect Teco to be here. Not too sure about it, but she might come. But it is exciting. It is very much important to have this conversation. As you may be aware, Charlyne is one of those young women in Liberia that have somehow impacted the their surrounding. They have encouraged many women, younger women, to excel, to do what is right. And she has actually done a lot in terms of personal development or involvement into politics. Uh, she is one of those key members of the Liberty Party. So she's also a lawyer. Yeah, but she will come and talk a little bit about herself. But it's important that you share this show today so that we can have this very, very important conversation. Let's bring on Mr. Steve Boley, my colleague who is already here. Steve, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Kane. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Are you ready for this conversation?
Yes, as always, it's an honor to, I think this is her debut with SKTV. So, as always, it's an honor to have one of the leaders, not only in her political party, but one of the national figures of our country, whether you like it or not. She's a household name, whether you want to look at it from her late father's point of view and what he's done so far, what he did for the country and for the Liberty Party, or you just want to look at her personal achievements and who she is. She's a national leader, and so we take her very seriously. We take her honoring our invitation very seriously to come on SKTV to have a conversation concerning our country and the forward march of the country in the future. So I think it's a good thing. I think I would encourage all Liberians to tune in from every walk of life, so that we can have this conversation here today. I look forward to a stimulating, thought-provoking, informative, and very educative conversation today with Charlyne, and would urge you, the viewers, to share the show, invite someone, let someone know what's happening here today. We've told you who our guest is. It's not a secret. But more importantly, Mr. Cunningham, we want to, welcome everyone from around the world. Those of you watching us from Europe, our followers, our viewers, Asia, Australia, especially those from the motherland in Liberia. We say thank you, and thank you. In this rainy season, in this season where data is a problem and a trouble in Liberia, you do your best to come on, follow us, and watch us, and you share the show. Thank you so much. Thanks to all of you. I want to recognize the Liberian people as the most important people, as always. But most importantly, I want to recognize the Liberian women as the most beautiful women on earth. And if you want to argue, Charlyne Brumskine would, let's see if she would not corroborate what I've said here today. And all of you Liberian women out there, to the most beautiful women on earth, we say thank you for being beautiful. Mr. Kana, back to you as we look forward to the conversation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Steve, as always. So, no, I'm laughing because you said that Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. And then you say, if anybody argue that Charlyne can come and disprove that because she's beautiful.
Exactly so. She will corroborate that.
And I like that. That's nice. Yeah, so folks, we want to encourage each and every one of you as always. We normally do this. It's called housekeeping. When we invite people here, we invite high-profile people, low-key people. It doesn't matter who we invite here. We always make sure we do this housekeeping, which is governing yourself accordingly, making sure we accord respect to our guests. We can disagree. You can say you lie. You can say that's not true. But there are certain words that are not acceptable on this platform. So this platform is noted to be very much reputable, respectful, and issue-driven. So if you are here and want to be part of this important conversation, we want to encourage you to continue to be within the confines of this platform. So Steve, per our custom, we always play one song, maybe any librarian son, so we can use that time to share the show. And also we can use that time to to shake a little bit. Maybe the guests will be shaking her head, maybe we'll see some giving some move and stuff like that. But yes, indeed, our guest is already here, and she's very, very pointed. She's on time. It's not like me who can be running late every day. So yes, indeed, folks, I want to say thank you very much. I want to encourage you to share the show. We normally do this every time. So let's play this one song here. And right after that, we will begin the conversation right away. So we're going to take this time to share the show. If you've never heard or haven't seen this young lady talking about Cllr Brumskine, you are here today. Share the show with your friends so that they can come late and say, "Oh, Sekou, what did I miss?"
So, folks,
I want everybody to be part of this conversation from the get-go. Right?
1 second.
Let's do this, and we will be right back in a few minutes.
Oh, na 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 na. Just let people them. People them. D12 on.
So, folks, I want you to. I want to say something real quick. We're gonna skip the music because this is an old show, so we don't want to bore you with music and other stuff. But please go ahead and share the show, because after listening to Charlyne Brumskine, we are going to be discussing some of the myths and lies that were perpetrated yesterday on other network about information about Charlyne Brumskine and CPP meeting and the rest of it. We have the facts. We always provide a fact. So go ahead and share the show and listen to Councilor Charlyne Brumskine. It will amuse you to hear some of the things he said and listen to what's going on today, taking into consideration of what's going on today, honestly speaking.
How are you? Okay. You are muted. You are muted. Let's see here. Unmute yourself, please.
Yes. Right. By now, we should be used to this muting and unmuting, right?
Yeah.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing today? How's Liberia?
Liberia is splendid. It's a bit overcast. It's raining season. Okay. So we are it's a little dark, but we're used to it now. But Liberia is good.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, so once again, this is your first time on SKTV.
So, folks, I am told that there are a lot of people here that been making SKTV, for what it is. I think we are told to recognize some of our good friends and fans and supporters that continue to make SKTV, what it is. So share the show. I'm gonna go back to the video. I want to recognize Sidu Robert, Fred Nyampu, and Eugenia Grain. I apologize before even calling your names. If I pronounce your name wrongly or mutilate your name, I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't used to all the names in the world, but I will try. So if I can pronounce the first name, I will pronounce the last name. If I can pronounce both properly, I will try my best. So I want to recognize Henry Weni. I want to recognize my own brother, Saros Mane. And I want to recognize Rosalind Diggs. People then that I can see, or especially people then that, that say something. And I want to recognize Numapu, I'm sorry, that's all I can say right now. And then I want to recognize Joko Wato. And I want to recognize Haslim Fambule and Yumutro Kranga. You are recognized. I want to recognize Tipples P. Dempster
We also want to recognize our sister here. One of the stakeholders, Stick is not here. Stick is the one that can be choosing who stakeholder. Me, I know my sister there, stakeholder there. Ruth Robert Panga. Pangba, we want to say welcome to SKTV. I want to recognize Samurai Pratt. I'm sorry if I don't recognize, I don't pronounce your name correctly. And Stewart, she's one of the best of our fans. He always with us. Ty Gibson's welcome. And Lawrence too. Lawrence being here. We used to be on the phone, on the cell phone. Lawrence, welcome to SKTV. And Amy Williams, welcome to SKTV. And let me see who I can see here. Mustafa Kenne, welcome to SKTV. I don't want to call people's name twice, so I try to skip some name that I already called. I want to recognize Edward Hall, welcome. Frederick Zabi, welcome. Baron Brown, welcome. Tapla Pupu, Pupu. I'm sorry, my people. I can be crazy when I sometimes call some people name, but yeah, Orita Zena, welcome. Miata Stella Henry, Harin, welcome. Dauda Kone, welcome. Marvina Wallis, welcome. Yeah, at least some people I know how to pronounce your name correctly. Mason Goy, welcome. Tipos, them start, I think I already did that. Lavoctor Woloto Wayne, welcome. And Stephen Goto, welcome. And Faliku, Sheikh Faliku, that's my own brother there from Europe. Miata Dakena, that was one of my favorite people. I know my sister can be crazy sometimes on Facebook, but I love her. Welcome, Miata. Emmanuel Colley, welcome. Mayton Hall, welcome. From Liberia, all the way from Liberia, man. People that watch here from Liberia, kudos to you. Unfortunately, this is not one of the days we can be on the video. But yes, Elder James Bly, welcome. Fritos, welcome. Benzonga Kamara, welcome. Oh, most of our people here today, wow. But you're not sharing the show, that's the thing about it. Frank Davis, welcome. Jeremiah S. Jeremiah S. Tokolon, welcome. Yeah. Gobla Zo, welcome. Vivian Dudu Adu, welcome. Sandy, Sando Kawala, I want to say Kamara. Sando Kawala, welcome. Queen Mercy Wright, welcome. The building getting planted. I don't know if I can do everything. Dave Davis, welcome. King Haniel Flomo, welcome. And Tawi, welcome. I'm sorry. Roosevelt Henderson, welcome. There are a lot of people. I'm sorry. If I don't call your name, I'm sorry. Next time. The name too plenty. Yeah, plenty of people here now. So let me just go back to why to play the video. You listen to Charlyne Brumskine here. We want to really say thank you to you for accepting our invite to be here. And we are hoping this will not be the last one because it's important to talk to you people, talking about people who are involved, especially I've said this time without number, that I really appreciate and like to see women in politics, especially young women. It's very, very, very important. At the end of the day, you people are the mothers, the wives, the sisters that we depend on. We men depend on the shoulders of women, to do everything we do. So when you guys getting involved and being on the table is very, very important, not only for us but for the future of our children. So indeed, briefly, if you can tell us who is Cllr Brumskine.
Great. Okay. Well, so once again, I'm so grateful to be here, honored to represent our country. represent Liberian women who, as you said, oftentimes carry a very, very heavy burden. And I think that we're not given quite enough credit. I mean, I myself aside, because I think God has blessed me to receive a lot of recognition. But there's so many Liberian women who really carry the weight of our society on their shoulders, on their heads, literally on their heads, and aren't recognized. So thank you for the recognition of Liberian women. I'm just that. I am simply a Liberian woman. I'm a Christian. I'm a woman of God. That's very important for me. I am a mother. I am engaged to a very amazing Liberian man. I am a counselor at law. I'm one of few Liberian women who are founders and managing partners of law firms in Liberia. I have been blessed to been able to put together a pretty good legal team that is really keeping up with some of the big, we call the good old boys clubs, right? So I will not call their names, but we know there are some established law firms that really have a reputation of taking the lion's share of the clients. And I think we have been able to compete with them. I think, very high up on the list. I didn't name at first, but obviously I'm the daughter of the late Cllr Charlyne Brumskine, who was a man of tremendous integrity, a man who was able to grow, develop the third largest political party in Liberia for quite some time. He was not just my political leader and my, political mentor. He was also my professional mentor, one of my best friends. I'm a woman from Grand Bassa County. So many things. So, but I'm simply at heart, I'm a Bassa girl. I'm a Liberian woman. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much. So you just mentioned the late counselor, may his soul rest in peace. He was a lawyer. Now you are called Cllr Brumskine. So you decided, you choose that path just to carry the legacy of your father, or you personally have a passion of being a lawyer?
So many things I want to say to you. First of all, I want to say that I have learned in my life, this is going to sound crazy what I'm going to say, but I've learned that I don't choose paths. Paths have chosen me. And I will explain that a bit more. But I can certainly tell you that it wasn't because of my father's career. Maybe there was some, influence, incidental or accidental influence, but he was never the kind of person to impose his life on us or his choices on us. All three, my brother and my two brothers and myself, all went to law school, but at no point in time was this ever something that Charles Brumskine said you should do. But I think, the law is something that we all saw as a tremendous tool to social justice, to patriotism and changing your country. And to some people, it's a way to amass wealth, So, law, there's so many great things about law, but it certainly wasn't because of him. And I think that, even as we begin talking, I'm sure other things will come up in like politics and other aspects of my life where, Cllr, I really don't believe I chose these things. They were thrust onto me. These things chose me, but we'll talk about it more. So yes, it wasn't because of him. It was because this is a path that I took.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. So another thing I want to ask, this a little bit personal, but I mean, I hope you will just be okay to answer it. You sound very eloquent and fluent in English, more than many of our people back home. So did you go to school only in Liberia, or you have some Western education?
I went to school in both Liberia and the U.S. As a young girl, I went to J.J. Roberts. Then when the war started, I went to the U.S. for high school, went to college in the U.S., and then went to law school in the U.S. So my, tertiary education was in the U.S., but my fundamentals Right here in Liberia.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know, and I like it. Yeah. So when you say you have one of those law firm right now, how long since you started the law firm? Because I not too long ago, when the title counselor was affixed to your name, and many of us, we were very proud of you, and we
Thank
congratulated
you.
you and the rest of it. So since when you opened that law firm?
So, just so you know, you can be an attorney at law
Mhm.
and practice before you become a counselor. So I did become a counselor this year, but I was an attorney at law practicing before.
Okay.
So I actually started practicing. I had my lit consulting firm in 2014,
Okay.
and then in 20, so I was consulting. I had a consulting legal consultancy firm, but I was still working at other places here in Liberia. And then in 2018, we decided to open the law, and I resigned from my other job and went full time into working, to starting this law firm and working for myself. So since 2018, the law firm has been in existence.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Steve, I will go to Steve before we might jump into other things in politics later on. I just want to get some of those personal and little bit information about you out of the way. Then maybe later on we will jump into a politics. But let me go to Steve to have a conversation with you for a minute. Steve, back to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Connect. Charlyne, good afternoon. Councillor Charlyne, good afternoon, and welcome to
Yeah.
SKTV.
Thank you.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to jump straight into the conversation here, and I'd like to go from the angle of your father. First of all, it's been almost 3 years, and I stand to be corrected, since the passing of your father. But before I ask you my question, I'd like to congratulate you because a couple of articles in real time showed that in La Brose you deuce the bar
Deuce.
exam. Yes, you
Can I say
deuce.
I used to say Dukes, and somebody said no, not Dukes, that Deuce. You Deuce the exam.
Yes,
You got Deuce the exam.
congratulations
That
to
was great.
you.
Congrats.
Thank you, thank you.
And that was very impressive. But it's been almost 3 years since the passing of your father. My question to you is, what has kept you holding on? And it's one thing for something of that tragic to happen to you and people be around for a couple of months or for years, for 1 or 2 years, but going on to 3 years, you seem to have regained your strength, momentum, enthusiasm. What is your secret and how do you feel today?
Steve, you would make me cry. Like you will really make me emotional because you don't even know me, but you captured so much in the question you just asked because it has been so difficult. It has been so difficult. I mean, it's one thing to have that relationship that you have, that many, girls or women have with their father. He was really my first love. He was my first love. He was my hero, and his death was so sudden for me. There really was a time in 2019 where I was not, I mean, I can say it now, where I just was like, I don't know how I would live in Liberia or beyond, without him. But of course, when you experience a death, and I don't know if he died from cancer, and if you have anyone who has died from cancer, it is the most wicked, brutal, devastating disease because you see the slow and gradual deterioration of the person. 2019 was extremely difficult for me. And then a lot happened in that time personally. So my mother left because she just could not, she couldn't stay here much longer. I had my children were here in Liberia. And because my father was receiving treatment in the US, so we were back and forth. It was such a difficult time. But when my father passed, my life changed so considerably. I mean, we talk about death changing, but everyone left me. Like my foundation in Liberia, people who everyone left. And then I started to see the slow deterioration or change of his institution of Liberté Party. Then I started to, my law firm that was building up, and I had this political, guru. I mean, excuse me, legal guru to help me. He was no longer there, so guide some of the attorneys and I. So it was a difficult time, but I know the values that Charles Brumskine instilled in me. And when I first started to talk to you, I talked about my faith. That was the first thing I said when Sekou asked about me. I said I talked about my faith because I truly believe in a higher purpose than us here. And I truly believe that, as I said, your destiny captures you and calls you. We like to think, some of us, that we decide which path we're taking. But truly, if you are a spiritual person, you know that there's something greater working. We are vehicles used for the greater glory of something bigger. So I purposed in my heart when I was going through my father's passing that I would be used for this purpose beyond myself. I know that God brought me back to Liberia for a reason in 2013. And I didn't feel in my spirit that it was time for me to give up. I felt that there was still so much for me to do in the country, whether it was through the legal profession, whether it was through my mentorship with young women. I mean, that's a whole other conversation we can talk about with young women here in Liberia and what our value system has imposed on young women, and the issue, without sounding judgmental, but the issues of morality and lifestyle in Liberia. Then talking about just every day how we carry ourselves, as people, whether it's government officials or not, politicians. So I knew that there were a few arenas and sectors in Liberia that God still wanted me to be a part of. So even though it was difficult, I kept going.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing your experience with us today. I'd like to pivot just a little bit from your personal experiences, what keeps you going, and what's going on with you. I'd like to ask you an important, I term it as important, but also interesting conversation. Mm-hmm. Being a lawyer is a high professional profession, let me say it that way. But it also seems as though you are into politics as well. And politics in Liberia, for the most part, most politicians or politics is termed as corruption or corrupt. The system is corrupt, as we say. Why politics? Why not just stick and be a professional, stick with your profession, which people earn high reputation. We give an example on Cllr Charlyne Brumskine and other councillors who've earned a reputation, and even your father. Why come to politics, especially somebody who's being a woman in this territory can be very brutal, very rude, very disrespectful, very undermining. Why politics?
Steve, I ask myself that question every day. Every day. Sometimes, I mean, I don't even know who is listening. I don't know how big your listening audience is. I don't know who's listening, but I would just, some nights I wake up like, my people, what am I thinking? Why? What am I doing? Okay, so let me say to you, this may sound like a cop-out. It may even sound arrogant, but the truth is, I really believe politics chose me. I came to Liberia. I'm a lawyer. When I graduated from law school, one of the first things I did was, one of my first jobs was to work in New York family courts in the Bronx, which is one of the poorest districts, to work with children who have been abused and neglected. Like, I have a passion for children. I have a passion for marginalized people. When I came to Liberia, I was hoping to work at the Ministry of Gender in that field, but it didn't happen. I started to work in a very different area of law. We'll talk about that. Then my father, obviously, Charles Brumskine, started to run. He was running again, 2016, 2017. I remember getting really involved in his campaign. And when I started, it really was from an advocacy perspective. I felt that Liberia, that the people, the masses, were so marginalized. The thing that blew my mind is that death is so common. Lives are worth. People die like this in Liberia. People die because of motorbike accidents, lack of proper traffic laws. lack of proper healthcare, the healthcare system, sexual abuse. I mean, people are just dying. So it is the most fundamental, basic thing. This right to life, right to self development, right? And we just didn't have it in the country. So I started to get involved in politics from an advocacy perspective, working with young people, going into different communities, talking to women. And Liberia, for some reason, we are cursed with the celebrity of politics. We don't have celebrities in Liberia. Our celebrities are politicians. So when you start to do something that should be advocacy, you get pulled into the big realm of politics. It was something I couldn't help. I was working with Charles Brumskine. We started working with these different groups, and I got called into it. Many people, when I got involved in politics, people wrote me off. They want she's coming from America. That American woman, look at the way she's talking. That lawyer, that this. They did not think I would be able to relate to the masses, or that they would be able to relate to me, or that my message would resonate. And if I may pat myself on the back, I think that because of my involvement in Cllr Brumskine's 2017 campaign bid, we took our campaign. I mean, there are so many other people who I would give credit to. Ben Sambi. At that time, Musa Belite was our chairman. We had Darius Dillon, we had Wade Power, we had Israel Atkins. I mean, all these big names. We had them all working on our campaign team at the time. So it wasn't just me. But it called me in. The people liked what they saw. I think they liked my sincerity, and that's how I ended up with politics.
Okay, just before I transition to Sekou, I'd like to ask you a follow-up question. Since you've assumed politics now, you've affirmed that you are into politics and you're a professional.
I always get in, my brother.
Okay, wonderful. Then let's usher the conversation into the political arena, because our Sekou area. Sekou loves politics. Okay, so then
we had Sekou talk beforehand. Also, Sekou said that I can be careful what I said.
So then let's dive into the politics of your father, his legacy, the Liberty Party, which has proven over the most recent years to be one of the formidable forces in the political arena in Liberia. Considering, I stand to be correct, that either Liberty Party came the most recent election, came fourth. Third, I'm sorry, and Frank Johnson came fourth. So fast forward, the Liberty Party seemed to be still in a halu balu, still not where maybe people would want it to be. So my question to you would be, since you're in politics, would you assume the role of political leader should the opportunity be given to you? In the context of saving your father's legacy. Sekou is up to you.
You really want people to come and pour poison in my water tomorrow? What a big question. So let me say to you, Steve, I love your, first of all, let me just say, when you first came on, Sekou had a smile. You did not have a smile. So I was concerned that you were going to be a very rough interviewer, a very mean person. But your questions are great, and your questions are probing. So thank you for these questions. I think that one of the reasons God has blessed me to be where I am today, despite, as we said, me having no real support around me, is that I take my time. I hear the voice of God, and I give deference to where deference is due, and I believe in service before leadership. If I were given the opportunity to be political leader, of course, I would not shy away from it. But I don't think that is a discussion that I'm having or anyone's having at the time, because right now our most important thing is to try to get Liberty Party, restore LP to the public image it had before.
Thank you. Sekou, is up to you, please.
Well, thank you very much. She said you were not smiling, but you asked some good questions. And I was smiling. I don't want to get the most difficult question. Don't see me smiling with you. it's not a threat, but like Steve said, when it comes to politics, I love politics. So that's why, for the most part, when it comes to politics, I like to ask the political questions. Sometimes it comes across as tough, but sometimes it just you know that's what we most for the most part interview on this platform. We call it a conversation because we want you to be comfortable. We want you to have back and forth conversation with us. To the extent where even when you're here for 1 hour, you can say, let's go ahead. I'm enjoying the conversation. That's the kind of conversation we like. Yeah, we don't like the catch you moment. Okay, oh yeah, okay, yeah, the breaking news. No, that's not what we do. But we stick to the issue. So recently you spoke and you talk about unity, and you just mentioned that trying to restore Liberty Party to where it was. How far is that process as we stand right now?
Thank you for the question. I think we are making tremendous progress towards reconciliation. Cllr Brumskine and the founders of the Liberty Party, the original drafters of our mission statement and our vision for the country. Our 4 hours. Number one, the first one is reconciliation. Cllr Brumskine felt very strongly in the idea of reconciling differences among Liberian people, and particularly within the party. So it's something that many of you know I've pushed since last year. Sometimes I push reconciliation even to my own detriment, because there are people today in Liberty Party who are very unhappy with me because they felt that I should not have been pushing for reconciliation, but that I should have in fact chosen a side, as they said, gotten off the fence, as they said. I got a lot of Liberian people say latches. I got plenty of latches for, calling for reconciliation. But I do not regret. I think it's what Cllr Brumskine would have called for. So we're making progress. As you know, this will become more and more public. I think both sides are having conversations, and I'm really hopeful that very soon we will see a unified and reconciled Liberty Party. I'm doing my best. I'm working. Even last night we had a meeting. I'm not sure if it's been posted, with a group of hardcore Liberty partisans who are just tired, fed up with the fighting, fed up with the bickering, especially the public display of bickering. And once reconciliation, to be quite honest, once again, I think this gets me in trouble, but I do not care. I think that the problem with LP has been that we have been split, being pulled aside or pulled apart by competing interests external to us, right? So some people want to go to one side, some people want to go to the other side, when this should have never happened. There should have been a collective decision as to how the party would have gone. And if we could not have come to one consensus, then we should have said what Cllr Brumskine has done in the past. My people, you have to decide where you want to go, right? The Liberty partisans can vote for where they want to vote. Now, if we had, and I've said this consistently, a guarantee or a commitment from any political institution that Liberty Party was going to be the VP candidate, right, for the other political institution, if there had been an actual marriage, because there's been a marriage with CPP, but there hasn't been a consummation, so to speak, right? We would definitely pick someone from LP to be your VP. Then we could even see why there had been so much internal wrangling. But if there had been no commitment made from any political party, no obvious commitment to the partisans of LP.
So I know some of you really want to listen to this, but there are a few things that this lady said that sound very, very, very important to me. From the start, she said, I don't choose path choose me. And she also consistently talking about reconciliation. And then one thing she just said, that's why I paused the video to highlight that part of it so we can continue listening to the video. She said, if there was, at least if there was a marriage or a commitment wherein they are for sure that one party, speaking of Unity Party and the CPP or the ANC at the time, she's saying this is all the way back in July 2022. She's saying if they were guaranteed a position, if they were guaranteed the VP slot, at least that would make sense for United Party, for Liberty Party to take a side. And the way things are going right now, what seems obvious, it looks like Liberty Party is going to have the VP slot. I mean, like this, it sounds like a prophecy to me. Most of the things she's saying is like she already knew, but she had no clue that this will happen. I'm not saying she's going to be the one, but I think it's going to be from Liberty Party. Because if you have CPP comprised of ANC and Liberty Party, if the standard bearer is already named from ANC, believe me, either outside of the two parties or from the other party. I just want you to pay attention to that because she said something that I think was very, very important for us to listen to it. Let me do this.
That we're going to pick someone from your institution. It be why LP is in the position it's in today. But to wrap it all up, I can say to you that we are talking. Both sides are talking. LP hopefully will be on the path of reconciliation. I know that Musa Bilite has called for it. I know that Nyamli Kanga Lawrence has called for reconciliation. So I think it's a matter of just working out, what this means for both sides to make sure that we are united very shortly, because this is going to affect us in so many ways. Next year, 2023, what about the Liberty Party candidates who want to run? How is that going to play out? There's so many implications. So.
Okay. So as part of that reconciliation, the other day I listened to an interview with Senator Nyamli Kanga Lawrence when she was asked about the same Liberty Party issue. She made mention of that you guys have that you have submitted the Constitution to NEC, and she said NEC has no business into the Liberty Party's internal internal problem. But yet, when she was asked whether or not Musa Bilite was stay the chairman, she said, we submitted a document and we made correction, pay our Farmington Hotel agreement. And then he said that automatically returned the party to status quo ante, which means wheresoever they were at the time, they are back to that position, which means Nyamli Kanga Lawrence, in as much as being suspended by the executive committee, stay per her assumption now, she stayed the political leader, and Musa Bilite, that was somehow denounced by Nyamli and other people for not being the chairman, stayed the chairman. So do you carry the same opinion?
I did hear the interview when Nyamli said that Musa Bilite is the chairman. And I think that is the right way to proceed as it relates to reconciliation. Because, some of the it has not been easy. I mean, people have been... Papa, people have, somebody said to me the other day, somebody said, y'all have made Charlyne Deborah for me to fix some situation that has existed for, months and months and months. The point is, I'm a counselor at law, obviously. I have the DNA of Cllr Charlyne Brumskine in my veins. In 2017, I want to just take us back a little bit. We, without any disparaging of the people who voted in 2017, we had evidence of substantial fraud in the 2017 election. We had evidence. We presented the evidence to the Supreme Court. At that time, Joe Borka and Yunze Pate joined us in our case of voter fraud. The Supreme Court decided, they ruled that the evidence wasn't substantial enough to overturn the election. No, there's so many things I can finally start to talk about now that have kept very personal to myself. I was with my father in his law office at Catholic Junction, 2017, December 2017, when the ruling was coming down from the Supreme Court. My mom was not with him. Nobody was with him. My mom was home. I was in the office. And we had heard someone, I will not say who it is, but someone had said to us that the Supreme Court was going to rule against us. And I remember sitting with him when that ruling came down. And my father, all of us were devastated. But he respected the rule of law. He respected the opinion of the Supreme Court justices. Do we think that even there might have been some, and I'm going to be very careful saying this because I'm a lawyer, I don't want to disrespect anyone on the bench. But let's just say it this way. We didn't agree with the ruling of the Supreme Court, but we respected it. There are people who I have called brother and sister who are so incensed, who are so mad and vexed with me because I have not gone against, the next ruling and the Supreme Court ruling. And at the end of the day, no matter how much we disagree with the court, the highest court, the final arbiter of our law is the Supreme Court. NEC has been given the constitutional mandate. There is a mandate that this next National Election Commission be set up to administer and to adjudicate issues of election matters and inter-party affairs. So when NEC gives its ruling, even if we disagree, even if I feel that everyone on the NEC commission is corrupt, we accept the ruling. So I have accepted, and I think when Yumli's position was that Musa is chairman and NEC has said X, Y, and Z is the right thing to do, and we find a way to now reconcile the party.
Are you aware of any direct conversation between Yumli and Musa? Can you speak to that?
No, I am not aware of any direct conversation, but what I do know is that both parties are having conversations.
And what is the prospect of you achieving your goal in terms of bringing Liberty Party to where it was? What is the prospect of that? How confident are you?
I'm 100% confident that Liberty Party will survive, and Liberty Party, as long as 5 of us are living who believed in the founding values, the fundamental basic values, the purpose, the mission of Liberty Party, it will survive. Even if it means some people will leave the party, if it means some people will go to other institutions, Liberty Party will survive and Liberty Party will be restored.
All right. That's good. So, do you have an ambition for running for any position come 2023? If so, which one?
I'm running for president of the Republic of Liberia. I'm just.
I'm gonna clap for you.
Announce here first.
No, I'm gonna clap. It is still that they're going to be leaning on people. I started leaning on yourself already.
Joe Burka and Cummings, be ready. No, I'm joking. We have been exploring the possibility of running for the House of Representatives from District 3 in Grand Bassa County, which is Buchanan City, my home. So we are still in the exploration stage. We believe that it's important to engage. We've been engaging with many of the stakeholders there. Buchanan is demographically, Buchanan is a very youthful city, has many young people. And then it's an urban, you kind of just like Monrovia. It's an urban city, it's cosmopolitan. There is, we have the university there now, we have trade schools, we have markets, people from Bassa, every weekend we in and out of Monrovia. We have the ports, we have a Cllr Metal, but we lack substantial development. There is no reason Grand Bassa County should be where it is today. It is a beautiful county. It's accessible, easily accessible to Monrovia. It has a port. It has natural resources that a Cllr Metal is taking from us, right?
So let me ask you guys, do you want us to continue with the interview, the previously recorded interview, or we should jump into our conversation now to debunk the myth that was going on around yesterday, the lies about Mr. Cummings and other people going to Cllr Brumskine's place. So tell us, do you want us to continue with, you want to continue watching the video to the end, or you want us to stop the video for today there so far and jump into our current debate? So I want to see if you want us to continue, just say continue. And you want to say, okay, if you don't want us to continue, just say no, and then we will stop the video. And okay, if you stop or continue, just say stop or continue. Stop. When you say yes, continue, we'll continue. You say stop, the number of people that will say stop or continue, they will continue. So yeah, so I'm getting to saying something here. It looks like people are divided on party lines or who they support. It seems like most of the people then that really want to see Charlyne Brumskine VP want us to continue, and those that don't like to see more of her want us to stop. It looks like she's getting I'm not sure what's going on here. But yes, but let me see here. Who can help me do this counting for me? Continue. Let's talk about the lie. Continue. Debunk. No. Stop. So yeah, I'm still counting. Okay, I think we can do both because I think the people are divided. Let's do a little bit. Let's talk about what's going on currently. A little bit, then we can continue. Just a little bit. Many people want us to continue. Yeah, okay. Now I know that people who say don't continue, I mean, the guy who just insulted her, Thomas Cllr is one of the, is he? So somebody say, what is the essence of the video? My own brother and friend, because all the that Joseph Aga supporter, so they don't like to see more of Charlyne Brumskine, who she is, her eloquence, and her understanding of issues, her likability. Most of the Unity Party people, they don't like to see, so they say don't continue. we will do both. We will do both. Let's just talk about, because we already hit 1 hour mark. But we will do both. So yesterday, as always, I was listening to Spoon Talk. When I posted something on my page, I didn't call the name, but I said the network. I listened to them. Before I even go to tell you what I listen to, it pains me to see some people who calling themselves realists, who calling themselves honest people, who calling themselves patriotic people, listening to people like Eugene Fangon, or tribalists, or divisionists, Eugene Fangon. He is a pathological liar. He lies about everything. In fact, if Eugene Fangon tells you that he is a man, tell him to take out the pants. You want to make sure. Because the guy is never associates himself with truth. He lies about everything. Anything that is not in his favor, that doesn't go his way, he lied about it. He is a big liar. Personally, I know Stanton can be somehow controlling, rude, and disrespectful sometimes to his people that work with him. And he's boastful. But for me to actually listen to him lie on record, it was yesterday. In as much as nobody is 100% neutral, but at least when you are saying something, it should be based on fact. So that the people that are watching you, listening to you, you can't give them misinformation. Yesterday, they alleged that Mr. Cummings and huge convoy of CPP people drove to the late Councillor Charles Brumskine's home to go and meet with Charlyne Brumskine. That was a big lie, a blatant lie. Because when it happened, when I heard that from those guys on Spoon Network, I immediately called to find out. And my sources told me, by the time I called, they were stay around where this conversation took place. As a matter of fact, when I called, because there's no way this was in Councillor Charles Brumskine's home, and then I was told, oh, Charlyne and her fiance just left. Can you imagine the lie? They say huge convoy of CPP went to Charlyne Brumskine's home, how she was being pressured, how she was being tormented. You can't do that. So I've come to ask myself, so what these guys are lying for what? What is the fear? No, my sources can't lie. Because you know what? I don't go for slaves. I go for slave master. I don't go for small potatoes. So when I told some of you here that I'm privileged, I have the opportunity to talk to most of the leaders, most of the political players in Liberia, to include political leaders and other key players in any of the party, including the CDC. The only person I can tell you for sure that I've talked to or I can talk to would be George Weah. I've talked to people very, very close and people in highest position in the government. Similarly, I talked to people in higher position in the opposition. I talked to JNB. I can talk to commies. I talked to Yumli as well. So when people come and lie to you, I don't just go for the petty liar there. I call the people themselves to find out what is going on. And they respect me, they trust me. Even though we disagree at times, even though someone will be mad at me for some time, they will not pick up the phone, but eventually they will call me back or text me back. So it was a big lie. Nobody went to Cllr Brumskine's house, as was reported yesterday. That's bad. Why would you want to undermine yourself and make yourself look bad? That's that. I mean, if you want to be a news or media institution, it's not a bad thing to support whoever you want to support. But regardless of the situation, say the truth. Present the truth to the people. That will not take away your support. But this guy will look in the camera and lie to the Liberian people. I mean, it's like you're taking the people for fool. People that are listening to you, people that watch you. If you continue to look them in the face, because looking at the camera, you're looking in the faces of the people that watch you. To look at them in the face and lie, that's bad. So my thing is, and my question to all of them, why the fear? What are you afraid of? Why are you begging Cllr Charlyne Brumskine Why are you begging Cllr Charlyne Brumskine not to accept to be running mate? Why are you afraid of her? I listened to one of them. If Charlyne Brumskine, because the same threat, the issue on Humbly and DeLong, now have begun to issue similar threat against her. Or if Cllr Charlyne Brumskine hold on one second. Somebody just sent us money here. I want to make sure. I want to make sure that what the message person here, is a silent listener. The person say they want to thank us for, speaking the truth, being honest, being truthful. But they want us to continue with the video. So we'll continue the video. Like I said, we need to debunk some of these lies. It's not good. It's not good for the politics. You cannot deceive people into supporting you. Many of the people that follow this platform, they follow us because they trust us, they respect us. They can disagree with us. They will call our names. Oh, you're supporting this person or that person. But yet, they respect us because you know what? Regardless of who is at the receiving end, we'll talk the truth. Some point, some ANC people will insult me, disrespect me, even send things in my inbox. But you can't, don't lie for anybody. It takes away your moral. It takes away your integrity. It takes away your value. It takes away the respect people have for you. Like I said, you can say everything you know. You can say, well, Stella Witherspoon, I know he runs a mouth a lot. I know he doesn't keep secret. Everybody that will talk to him, he will come and say, either directly or indirectly. You can say that about him. But for me to see him looking at camera and lie, maybe I don't watch all the show. It was yesterday. He was lying. Either he was misled by people that gave him the information, or he willfully decided to mislead the Liberian people, which was very unfortunate. Fangon, I don't want to bother about Fangon. Fangon is the born liar. Fangon started lying when we were kids. Fangon lies about everything. Everything about Fangon. Anything Fangon tells you, don't listen to it. And if you can take Fangon seriously, I can't take you seriously. Either you are deceptive, you either corrupt, because if you can listen to a lie and believe in a lie, knowing that it's a lie, that means you are no different from that other person. Another person just sent out $25. Thank you too much. Thank you so much. The person says, please, Sekou, for no name, and say for just about the truth. Thank you. We appreciate it. But you know, the reason why I'm addressing Stanton, because I don't know him to be liar on his platform. I don't know about other aspect of his life, but I don't know him to be a liar. I know he runs his mouth a lot. He was the one that informed us that they already got the loan. The loan already was part of the deal that they had to make sure that Nyambli was remain with Joseph Boakai. Stanton that said it. Stanton said Costa is not going to go anywhere. And Costa is yet to say anything. What is stopping Costa? We don't know. You know, what I'm saying here, until I can have proof of you lying or doing certain thing, I don't want to come outrightly and say certain thing. But I know Stanton lied yesterday, big time. He misled the public yesterday. And when he said, oh, I can't even believe he said that. When he said that Charlyne Brumskine was being pushed, was being cornered, she was being pushed to the wall, that the woman is going through tremendous frustration, that she's been bullied, she's been threatened. As a matter of fact, that they are threatening her if she does not agree to go with Cummings. They will. That was the big lie of big. If you listen to Cllr on Truth on OK FM today, I did hear some insight. He said, "Oh, you both had dinner yesterday with some of the people that are supposed to be the running mate." He actually said the running mate because he believed the dinner the people had yesterday, Charlyne Brumskine was there. Other people were there other than Charlyne Brumskine. People had friendly conversation among themselves. The conversation that ended with fun, shaking hands, hugging each other, blessing each other, telling each other thank you. Oh my God. These guys, I mean, why would you lie? It is disheartening. Oh, the woman being pressured so much. Oh my God. That's a lie. Don't believe it. It is far away, million miles away from the truth. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. Today, what I decided to do was to just play Charlyne's interview with us, just for her to have some idea as to who she is. Listen to this young lady. Somebody say, oh, no, she's not young. Yes, she's not young. But at least she's not old. She's energetic. She can play soccer. She can exercise. Just like Alexander Cummings can go to the gym and when he's ready, he can flex his muscle. We have seen that. But I would love to see her as the running mate and see her debating with the men who they say can sell human part. I would love to see her with the human part seller having a debate on issue. I would love to see it. I would love to see Joseph Nyima Boakai and Cummings and Tewon Gonglo taking a walk. Not running, taking a walk. Just to take a walk to make sure they are fit. I'd like to see that. Tewon Gonglo, Alexander Cummings, and something. Not on the treadmill. Just walk around. At least for 45 minutes or 1 hour. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they can walk for 1 hour. Let's see if everybody will make it to the, to the finish line. It is not a bad thing to support anybody you want to support. Whether you are an institution or you're individual, you decide to support who you want to support. But the day you decide to say, you know what, let Boagai, Cummings, Tewon Gonglo, and Jowia go on the street or to walk for 1 hour, that's the one you will see the real rescuer. Whether the rescuer will be rescued or ambulance will come rescue some people. Well, whatever will happen, will happen. Similarly, open debate between Charlyne Brumskine, Joe Howard Taylor, and the guy who they say can sell human part. I'm not the one saying it. The man who they say his daughter used to vomit money. Oh my God, I can't stomach this, But yeah, I think it's important that we respect people that follow us. It's very, very important to respect people that follow us, that listen to us, people that share our show, people that come and use our show as their source of information. Let's respect them by telling them the truth regardless. You know why so much hate from some people towards us? Because we are telling the truth. Truth that is not in their interest, they tend to disrespect us. So yes, there were no group of people, CPP, that went to Charles Brumskine's house, the late Charles Brumskine's house yesterday, to go and coerce or force Charlyne Brumskine to accept something. Is a lie. I can tell you 100% sure that it was a lie. On the other hand, that Charlyne Brumskine was forced. She was tormented. She was being embarrassed. She was doing this. That's also a big lie. No. And I can confirm to you the people met yesterday. It's true. As a matter of fact, right after that meeting, I was one of the first, if not the first, the very first person to speak to key players that were in the meeting. As a matter of fact, the person was like, "Oh, but Sekou, how did you know?" I said, "I heard from Small that you're having a meeting to Charles Brumskine House. What's going on?" And the person was like, "Oh no, Charlyne and her fiance just left." That's the word. That's the same word they told me. Charlyne and her fiance just left. And I was giving some details of the information of the meeting that I cannot share with you because that was not meant for public consumption. Because what I went there for, I wanted to know where the meeting was held, what was the content of the meeting, whether or not Charlyne Brumskine was forced, or who all were in that meeting. That was my mission. Well, that's what I wanted to know. And I got a clear picture from people that matter, not liars. From people that matter, people that know exactly what they are doing, what they're talking about. People that are making decisions, not liars. One day you want to malign this other person, the next day you want to coerce them, you want to somehow bully them. Oh, Yombly, same thing. Yombly will damage her political career. She will feel the wrath of the Liberian people if she do it. You said that about Yombly. Oh, Dillon can't go nowhere. We already got Dillon. Dillon is already part of it. So now, since you said Dillon was part of it, now we've heard that Dillon took money. Now they are also including Yombly in the same thing. Even if people don't call Yombly name, if Dillon took money and stay influence Yombly, who cares? Support who you want to support. But don't lie about other people. Or make the case if you want to make a case. So somebody will say, "Oh, Sekou, what about what you're saying about Dillon taking money?" I didn't say it. It was this guy that said it. He said Dillon is already part of it. What else? What control? What else? What influence or leverage State don't have beside money? Nothing. He uses cash violence to achieve his objective. His personal problem, his issue in court, he's going to jail, that's not my business. When we hear any information about it, like we did it last time, we'll come and tell the people to provide a clear picture as to what is going on. But what he does with his life, that's not my business. But the fact that he wants to use his platform to lie on other people, to fabricate story, to deceive the Liberian people, we will not sit by supinely and allow that to happen. So we thought it was important that we come here and set the record straight. That State don't lie. His bed-toting boy that is behind him, who can be praising him when you wear the shoe, when you wear a new shoe, who can be telling the world, about. I mean, this guy called Fangon is the most dishonest human being. This guy just yesterday was saying that George Weah is the best. This guy was insulting every person in the diaspora. That you are people cleaners. You are cartoon totos. You nobody. This is the guy that was yesterday preaching divisive politics, dividing us based on tribes, dividing Liberians based on country of origin. The same person is now telling you George Weah is bad. This is a guy yesterday that was defending Jowia government for all the killings that is going on in the country. Fangon. Now, all of a sudden, he's the political messiah. He is the political Maradona who people should listen to. So all of you that listen to Fangon and believe Fangon, I got big question mark on your sense of thinking. I got big question mark on your intellect. It looks like you got mud in your brain. If you can listen to Fangon and believe Fangon, then you got mud in your brain. I'm saying it. Trust me. Because it means that you got no sense of thinking about what happened yesterday. Man, politics, I like to be honest with people. Fangon lost credibility long time ago. Everything Fangon is saying now, Fangon is saying it because Fangon got fired. Stanton reason to bring Fangon to his network because he wanted to be recruiting people to fight with him because he was not accepted by George Weah. Stanton's decision to go with George Weah because McGill got fired. Those people, they are not supporting Joseph Numa Boakai because they like Joseph Numa Boakai or they believe in the leadership of Joseph Numa Boakai. No. They are supporting Joseph Numa Boakai because they want to settle score with George Weah and the CDC. They are supporting Joseph Boakai because they want to maintain their control over Joseph Boakai. If at all he will run, if at all he will win. Fangon is telling you that George Weah is not going to win, not because George Weah is inept, not because George Weah is incompetent, but because Fangon got fired. Fangon said they will lose because he's not on their team. He's projecting himself as being the only person and the best person that can make somebody win in Liberia. So their fight, the fight right now, it's not about George Weah, it's to prove a point. I mean, it's not about communists, it's to prove a point to CDC people and George Weah and to the world that whoever they support can win the election, including using their own, using cash. You know, many people in Liberia, they have no moral. Most politicians, they have no moral. They have no integrity. When Standard Witherspoon gave money to Dillon during the campaign, he did not keep it. He talked about it. He tried to influence Dillon. In fact, he asked Dillon after the election, Dillon will have a first interview with him. Every other media that supported Dillon, including SKTV, Dillon turned everybody down because money was on the other side. When he gave money to Dillon to give it to Yombly during the Kinsane campaign, Yombly didn't tell me. Dillon didn't tell me. Stanton ran his mouth again. He told the world how much he gave to the people. Stanton have had most of these politicians by their boss. They can't do, and that's why you can come and brag about it, tell the world, this person can't go nowhere. I'm saying it because I'm allowed to say it. That person can't do anything. That person, yes, he gave money to them during the campaign. And he himself went around and started telling people. And I confirm it. During the election. Similarly, when I listen to Stanton talking about Costa not going nowhere, Yombly not going anywhere, Dilompa, he part of it. I knew straight that money was in play. These guys, they lie. They lie too much. So I know for a fact that Stanton can run his mouth. I know that. So, when you're listening to people like that, gotta be very careful. So people then that will carry my statement and frame it the way they want to frame it, especially about Fangon. Not only that you can listen to Fangon, I say if you can listen to Fangon and you believe what is coming from his mouth, then your mouth is filled with your head, filled with brain, with mouth. Then your brain size is just like a peanut. You cannot process anything. You cannot even remember yesterday. This is the same Standard Witherspoon. When he had the feeling that Joseph Nyima Boakai was going to pick Yumley, Witherspoon went on his show and stole the word. Boakai should not take any senator. Boakai or Cummings, anybody take a senator, he will campaign against them. He said that all the senators are corrupt. That was just yesterday. But some of you fools, unpatriotic people, will follow anybody who will say are supporting you, even if they have no integrity. But because they say they're supporting you, you follow them. You are a fool. That's not how life's supposed to be. At least have moral, have some integrity in you. Somebody told you yesterday, I will not support any senator because all these senators are big role. They are criminals. They are corrupt. Anybody take a senator, I will go against them. The man said it just yesterday. But your brain is so small or filled with mud in it, you cannot even remember what the man said yesterday. He said it. He said it. You can choose to watch and listen to us if you like. It's up to you. You can choose not to listen to us. It's up to you. We don't force people to come here. And we don't buy view. Because we want to speak to people. We don't want to speak to ghosts. We don't want to just speak to number. We want to speak to human being. And people with integrity, people with sense, people that can differentiate between what is wrong and what is right. So if you are those people with mud brain and you feel that you belong to where people lie to you, go there. We don't care. We don't force anybody to come here. You come here because you want to listen to the truth, because you want to listen to facts, because you want to know exactly what is going on. That's why you come here. So yes, I did not say everybody that listens to Spoon Talk, they are fools. I didn't say that. I didn't say everybody that follows Spoon Talk, they are fools. I didn't say that. But I said people that follow and believe what Eugene Fangon says, you are a fool. I'm saying it again. Anybody that listens to Fangon and believe Fangon, you are a big fool. You are no brain. If you can be listening to somebody one thing, but believing what he's saying is another thing. If you can listen to Fangon and believe Fangon, knowing who Fangon is, knowing the liars he is, knowing the dishonest person he is, and you can believe him, you are more than a fool. You got no brain. That's just the truth. So I don't want some of you liars who go around, oh, they could say people that listen to Spoon Talk, they are fool. No. If you can listen to what Fangon is saying and believe him, listen is one thing, but believing what he's saying, you are more fool. Yes. I'm saying it and I believe it. The thing is, when Cllr Witherspoon was telling his people yesterday, play the video, show the pictures. Oh, we got this, we got that. Similar thing happened when they were caught doing certain things and they were recorded by this guy from the Moravia State Police. They all got into a defensive mode. They all got into damage control mode. They all get into damage control mode. But trust me, we know the truth. We also have some of the information. But sometimes when politics is really getting interesting, when we're supposed to be discussing real politics, when we're supposed to be following real things, I don't want to take our people somewhere, to distract them. There were a lot of dishonesty in those video recording, audio recording between Stanton, Van Gogh, Sheikh, and the guy from Liberia. We got some information. We were sent information from the other side, recordings. But you see me, I don't even play some recordings that are not authentic. Somebody sent me a song on a recording the other time. That this recording, that people say, oh no, this is Mo Ali speaking to Stanton, saying bad thing about Costa, and Mo Ali is Stanton recorded Mo Ali and this and that. When I listened to that recording, I felt that it was not authentic, it was not clear, and as a matter of fact, I know it was something staged. That particular recording, I'm not talking about that recording. That particular recording, I know it was somehow planned by somebody, because there are certain things that were repeated over and over. You can't even hear clearly what was being said. If we were somebody who would just follow anything or just believe in anything, because, oh, they say some bad thing about Costa, they say bad thing about Mo Ali or Van Gogh or what's his name, or Stanton, we just believe it. We're going to take the recording and can play here. No, we don't do that. We do not take anything that is not authentic. You want to say or something, make sure it's clear. The same way we can play Prince Johnson audio. Prince Johnson didn't know he was recorded. When Prince Johnson said Jeremiah Kun is a rogue, Jeremiah Kun is a criminal, Jeremiah Kun should not be trusted, Jeremiah Kun stealing money from the legislature. When Prince Johnson said it, we had that audio and it's clear. You listen to it, it's very, very loud and clear. So we don't just follow things just because we want to make people happy or want everybody to come here. So, in short, I don't hide to say I don't go on people's show. Me, I go to everybody's show. All the show you can think of, I can go there and listen. If you're talking something that makes sense, I will listen. If you lie, I will debunk it. If you tell the truth, I will say that and listen. Like many of them can come on SKTV. Sometimes they don't want to click on it to see their name, but they can be watching. Some of them can confess to us, oh man, we can be on the show. You don't care. I go on any show, on every show to listen. The only show that I don't go to certain show that we don't talk anything that has to do with issues. So in short, I'm going to continue playing Charlyne video. But before I do, let me also say thank you to a few people that just sent us some money here. But most of them can say no name, but the other person didn't say anything. The last name is Wilson. Wilson, thank you so much. The person sent $30. Then when I say the money, then you know exactly who you are. And no name, please. That person said no name, please, but the person sent $25. And another no name sent $25. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. I don't want to go to the video without, to play the video without actually telling you Somebody I'm play Prince Johnson video again where you mentioned Kung. Okay, I'll play it 2 times and then we'll go to the video. We'll go to the record the interview with what's her name? Charlyne Brumskine. Yeah, so Prince Johnson video, you can hear it. It's very clear, loud and clear. So let me see here. Let me see.
I come to the country to take war.
Hold on.
Jeremiah, who in my party, I have not come to the country to take war. I suppose you know. Principally, I tell you this, to be too damn greater than good. We elected Jeremiah in 2017 up to 2023. Why does he want to move Tom Grupi, for example? Why does he want to contest against anybody, for example? You don't know me, telling me I'm a principle-minded person. So I told a people that go around the money university because he the goes and me interpreted co-chair. And the ministry will come to defend a budget, they can pay to them. He got money, so let's spend it. Yes, I'll be burning my great do up on him of my own suit. So go on Saturday in PA, you fight me, you will fall. When Brandon about to try it die, when John will try it die, when there is you try it die, when Tom will be try it cripple. Yes,
so imagine this is the man who's going to be around VP Boakai. You know, okay, to tell you when I say some of the supporters did when they got mud in their brain, the other one that they call himself Thomas Cllr. He said that's not Prince Johnson. Can you imagine? Because they support somebody, then they sell their soul. Maybe they finish taking someone and bring from themselves because the way they can sell human part. Maybe some of them they'll finish losing their brain. Maybe the guy who talking right now got no more brain in him. Maybe they finish selling their own brain. He said this is not Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson, he said that fake. Can you imagine? So this is the kind of people you are dealing with. So I don't take these people seriously. Good people, I take them seriously. I'll play Prince Johnson thing one more time, and then I'll go to Charlyne's video.
Jeremiah, who in my party, I have not come to the country to take war. I suppose you know. Principally, I tell you this, to be too damn greater than good. We elected Jeremiah in 2017 up to 2023. Why does he want to move Tom Grupi, for example? Why does he want to contest against anybody, for example? You don't know me, telling me I'm a principle-minded person. So I told a people that go around the money university because he the goes and me interpreted co-chair. And the ministry will come to defend a budget, they can pay to them. He got money, so let's spend it. Yes, I'll be burning my great do up on him of my own suit. So go on Saturday in PA, you fight me, you fall. When Brandon about to try it die, when John will try it die, when there is you try it die, when Tom will be try it cripple. Yes,
so yeah, somebody, I don't know, one of the brother who said, you know, Sekou, you can't be insulting people like that. A lot of people believe what they believe. No, that's not belief. That's been disrespectful to SKTV. If you want to bring yourself here and discredit us when we know we're playing the actual and authentic video, audio, you're telling us that's fake, then you're telling me you lucky, sir. I just tell you, he said he's brain, but I should have deleted him from here. This platform does not belong to everybody. Let me tell you this. It belongs to human beings, not fools. People that will come here, they disagree with us. They say, oh, no, that's not true. Believe they know, we believe. They will call us. They will say, oh, you are biased. Whatever they say, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But to come here to discredit us and you know the truth, they will shouldn't tell you, oh, no, we don't sugarcoat stuff. If you're a fool, we will call you by your name. We got a lot of silent majority here. There are reputable people that respect themselves. Even when they disagree, do you know how many people can call us sometimes that they express their disagreement? One time I told you, when we said that Joseph Nima Boakai was retarded politically, one of my uncles called me and said, hey, You cross the line. You got to go and apologize. You said the man retarded politically, but no matter where how you put it, whether politically or not politically, as long as you say retarded is negative, people take it in a negative form and they will form opinion on that. They will say disrespected the old man. My uncle forced me to apologize. And I came on here and apologized. So we have a lot of people that follow us silently. They don't say anything. So when we have few people who got mud in their brain when they come here, we will call them by their name. They will not come here and make everybody to look stupid. Who can listen to this and say this is not Prince Johnson? You want to have a conversation, you want to defend the man, if you believe in what the man is saying, that's fine. But it is clear that the ticket for Joseph Boakai is Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kun as VP, and Joseph Boakai will be there. And Prince Johnson will be the one making the decision for them. So again, I'll continue listening to Charlyne Brumskine. I want to say thank you to everybody who have contributed to us, to SKTV. We really appreciate it. So we'll continue listening to Charlyne Brumskine.
Right? And our people are not, benefiting at the level they should be benefiting. We have had leaders at the legislative level, I believe, that have not done what they should be doing. We have right now, one of the biggest issues in Grand Bassa is the public government hospital, which is a referral hospital for so many different other hospitals. We have our budget for that hospital is $100,000. $100,000. The average person makes more than that in the US, right? That is the budget. There's not fuel. We got a call the other day because July 26th is coming. I wanted to take some rice and stuff to the hospital. We were told.
So those of you who are saying, hey, don't block this guy. I mean, don't cause this. I told you, the people, when we see them, we know them. This guy who was here saying fake, he's one of those people that don't belong here. Now, what he did, he returned to their usual thing. The usual trouble slurs, the usual stupidity. Now we know that he's insulting me, but he's calling me now what? Madingo dog. That doesn't hurt me anymore. We have heard that when you were not born. People try, not only calling us Madingo dog, but they try to take gun to kill us. For me, Madingo, a Muslim. Guess what happened? We came back. We fought back. Those who say we can't be in Liberia, they can't stomach to see us in Liberia, we liberated them. So calling me Madingo dog will not help you, because it will not stop me. It energizes me. It motivates me. It embodies me. So when you curse me, any other cause that will help me, when you call me Madingo dog, I like that one. Because anybody say that, those are the people that are really, really suffering, because they don't let the see Madingo people. But the more they see all they got sick, the more they got sick. But you doubt your great-grandparent, they didn't make it with us. Your father and your mother, they didn't make it with us. You just said, I got no brain. Jeremiah confident taking your own brain to sell it, you can't make it with us. So you're wasting your time. Me, I can't get vet when you call me Madingo dog. Call me all the name you want, but it's not going to help you. I don't want to add that person, they don't belong here. We need good people here. So continue to listen.
Fuel, the people need fuel. The government hospital is now going to be charging people for certain fees. They free the public hospital for fees. The average woman who's selling in the market, the average motorcyclist, the elderly people who can't afford 500 LD a day are now going to be paying for service. So, these are all the shortcomings, all the deficits that we have in that district. But so we're exploring the possibility. But if I run, I would. You all be the first to know.
Okay, we didn't hear that. We're breaking. I want you to say that again, please. I think somebody was calling you.
I said we're exploring. I don't know. I think it's the end. I have my Wi-Fi on, but it is going in and out. We're exploring.
But it's good.
We have not yet made a affirmative decision, but if we do, the two of you will be the first to know.
All right, that's great. So this is going to be my last question. Then I'll go to, for now, then I'll go to Steve. right now we are exploring for a representative seat in Grand Bassa County. And honestly speaking, it is inarguable that the Liberty Party is divided. Hopefully, you guys will come together. That's just something I have personally talked about in public and private. I've talked to both Musa and Yumli, and I've said it over here that why would you want to break your home for other people? I've said that and I still maintain it. So I personally think the Liberty Party should come together. However, as is right now, the challenge, the steep is the hill is too high. The tension are enormous. So, assuming hypothetically, so I don't want to be, I don't want to be seen as somebody who's trying to create a problem for Liberty Party, but assuming hypothetically, we know Yumli leaning towards Joshua Nima Boakai. If Yumli did not agree, or she does not agree to go or reconcile with the Liberty Party, and now Liberty Party officially endorsed Cummings. Musa Bilete is saying that he doesn't want to go for president or vice president. And now Liberty Party is now the Liberty Party and ANC in the collaboration currently, as we know it. We know if Cummings is to be the standard bearer of the CPP, the vice standard bearer cannot come from the ANC. Are we looking at Charlyne Brumskine as vice presidential hopeful?
Sekou, the people will think I paid you. They will think I paid you to ask me these questions. My people, I did not. Me and this man had no prior conversation about this.
So you're listening to the question I just asked. You hear this question I asked her? We just asked her about the running mate business, if she will be asked to be the running mate in the CPP. This was 2022, July, last year. And listen to her response. Wow, I couldn't even remember this part that we actually asked her about this. Listen, so that you can hear for yourself. You even told me I want to ask you this question, but
I told him not to.
But I have to. It's important because those are the conversations out there that people want to know. People want to know what is in the minds of the people, not just everybody, but people that have the potential, that have some level of leadership in them. Right now, the fight in the Liberty Party is lack of leadership. That's just the fact. We said, and I still maintain, if our Liberty Party throwing hard for presidency, wherein everybody competing, the three major parties in the CPP were competing, people are going to come to Liberty Party where you can negotiate from a position of strength to ask you, please, come and be my vice president. You don't go compromise yourself or destroy your party to be vice president for somebody. But because the lack of leadership on the part of the Liberty Party, something we spoke of over and over, that's how we got here. So I'm asking you now that Musa Bilete is saying he's not going to, and if we leave with only Liberty Party and the ANC, and Yumli is not in the picture, because if Yumli goes with the UP or whatever DAL, that means Liberty Party will be with ANC, and then decision will be made between the two parties, vice president and president. So I'm asking you that if you are to be given that opportunity, will you let go the ambition for the representative position and go for the vice president?
So let me start by saying that one of the beautiful things about Liberty Party, and I think one of the great things about Cllr Brumskine, is that he ran a very democratic institution. And I think that no leader, first of all, there are a couple of things that happened in LP that I think have been absolutely wrong. A leader doesn't make a decision without consultation, okay? So Liberty Party has an executive committee. a national executive committee that will make decisions. We have an advisory council. We have a strong, robust, a very active and engaged group of partisans that will decide who a VP should be. So it's not something I've talked to anyone about. It's not something we've explored. I would leave that to our people to decide. But if I were given the opportunity, do I think that I could be vice presidential candidate material? I should say, certainly.
Wow.
I am one of the most professionally accomplished women in Liberia. I am a woman who literally grew up watching one of the most integral, one of the most principled leaders create an institution from nothing to bring it to where it was. I'm someone who I have been able to, my message, my life has been able to resonate with many, many Liberian men and women at home and abroad. I have gone to schools and interacted with some of the bigwigs in the US. I've made connections throughout. I'm not selling myself yet. I'm just telling you who I am. However,
go ahead.
However, I don't think that's a discussion that needs to be had at this time. I think that, we as the LP, as I said to you, when I had this meeting of these partisans last night, some of them called me after the bigger group to say, look, right now, we just want our party to be reconciled. I think this is what this idea, this mentality is what got us to where we are now. Individuals thinking that they were the ones who should be deciding the way of the institution. I don't think that's what needs to happen. But I, Charlyne Brumskine, certainly believe that I'm qualified to lead in almost every capacity. I don't think it's time for me to be president of Liberia, but I think I can lead. Now, I also want to say there are others in Liberté Party, not just me, who I think are quite capable of being vice presidential material. So we have a good cadre of Liberians who may not be vocal all the time, but who are really working behind the scenes to move our country forward.
Thank you. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you, Mr. Connett. Well, for all indications, yes, you were trained. Yes, you were trained by
the counselor,
not only a seasoned counselor or lawyer, but also a strategic politician. I like the way you're answering the questions, but we'll push you because that's why you're here. We'll push you a little further because
goodness, I thought I had gotten away with it.
You finally got me to be smiling here. So let's stick with the politics for a little bit. But I'd like to divert before we come back to the politics. Maybe there is something we didn't catch or I didn't catch, but I'd like to catch it. I believe in law there are different practices or different things. I'm not sure about how it works in Liberia. Some are family lawyers, some are criminal lawyers or defendants or whatever now. What is your practice? What are limitations do you do so that we know exactly where to go?
Great. Okay. So you're right. In the US, there are, big firms, and then there are specialties. You specialize law, so you're either in the intellectual property department, you're in the corporate department, you do criminal, in Liberia, many of the firms and many of the lawyers don't have the luxury of specializing. So we kind of do a cross-cutting profession. However, for me, I am a corporate and commercial lawyer. Most of my law is transactional law. I don't enjoy litigating. I don't enjoy being in court. It's not my cup of tea. I am a corporate lawyer. But because of the way our practice is, you have to be in court sometimes. You have to be able to do, but criminal law is not something that I do. It is usually corporate and commercial.
Okay. Well, the future looks bright for Liberia, whether it's you, whether it's other younger people that are involved with politics in Liberia or out of Liberia. So I'd like to push you now, go back to the politics, because we are talking about the Liberty Party, but I want to talk about the CPP.
Okay.
You as a lawyer, you who grew up around someone with integrity, you who were reared by a man of impeccable character. What do you say about what happened within the CPP, the case with Mr. Alexander Cummings? That includes Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence being on record, Joseph Yuma Boyka being on record, and Benedict Ure being on record. What do you say about what happened within the CPP? I want to generalize the question. I want to be specific. What is
Thank
your
you.
take?
I mean, you went off a little bit, the internet. So I want to make sure that so the question is, you said these three people being on record for saying what? I didn't get that.
In terms of the accusation on Mr.
That
Cummings. Yes.
Well, so that's not a legal question. Those are factual questions. Because your question you're asking me is, right? So it's not a legal question. You're asking me whether or not I think that the allegations are accurate. And let me put it this way. I am not going to answer that question directly, because if I answer the question directly, then it means that either I'm saying Mr. Cummings is a crook, or I'm saying the other three people lied on him. So either way, you're coming out and not me yet today. What I will say, what I will say is that I have a great deal of respect for Alex Cummings. I have a great deal of respect for him. I have been in his company on more than one occasion. I have had one-on-one meetings with him on more than one occasion. And I have never been given any reason to believe that Mr. Cummings would jeopardize and sacrifice so much of, what he's built and what he could potentially build to engage in alleged criminal activity. That's it. I don't know. I wasn't involved at that time with the drafting of the CPP framework. I was not on the EC when they decided to do the signing off. I was not involved. So I can just give my personal opinion about Mr. Cummings, and it would be hard for me to believe that he would engage in criminal activity.
Yes, politics run in your blood. You're 100% right. You are confirming and affirming this here today. But let's move back to the Liberty Party, because on SKTV, Sekou and maybe other people, myself, I've said it openly that I believe the way to the presidency is through the Liberty Party. Not only because of the consistency of the election results in Liberia, maybe the 2 or 3 elections, but just the hopefulness in the Liberty Party. There's so much potential in the Liberty Party. I've seen the Liberty Party. I've seen it structured. I've seen members of the Liberty Party. I had an opportunity to even interact with members of the Liberty Party in Pennsylvania last year. For the very first time, I met Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence in person. We had a conversation.
And you got to, and you had left everybody, and y'all were talking for more than 40 minutes.
No. But we did have
because that guy was leading Liberty Party. So
yeah, I still leaning Liberty Party. I'm still leaning Liberty Party.
That's great.
As of now, I'm still leaning. I don't know yet. My heart could change tomorrow. But the question here is, you raised something very important, whether that was to confirm indirectly or not. You said this last year, in credit to Front Page Africa, December 22nd. This is what you said when you had a press conference. I'd like to read this just for the audience's sake. I believe these are your words and you remember them. But let me read them really quick here. Quote, if we do not reconcile as a party, we are useless to this nation. What good is a party with a leadership structure, an executive committee recognized by the neck, but who do not have a strong constituent base? What good is a strong and a large constituent base with a leadership structure that is not recognized by NEC? We are nothing until we are one. If we continue to fight like this, we are of service to no one, certainly not any political institution, and definitely of no use to the country. The masses are looking at us, are looking to us. Our country needs strong political institutions as the prop for good governance. What do you mean? Because it seemed as though, based on what I've read from that transcript, you took a swap on both sides. You tried to stay as neutral as possible. What do you mean when you?
So Steve, let me interrupt you for a second. You know, we agree for her to come here and be here for only 1 hour.
Yes.
Today, I know we started the show a little bit late, but maybe for another 7 minutes, that would take us to 1 hour, 10 minutes into the show, which we give her an exact 1 hour of bringing her on. I just want to stick to that. So that way, she can be encouraged to come the next time. So you want to say, oh, when I went there the last time, they held me hostage. So, yeah, so I just want you to make your question brief so she can answer it. Maybe we can ask 1 or 2 more questions. But first, you got to stick around. The conversation we are having right now, we'll have post-interview discussion. You will be given the opportunity to call in and tell her what you think about the interview and the rest of it. So I just wanted to put that on there. I'm very conscious about your time and want to make sure we stick to that. Steve, go ahead.
So here's my question based on what I read. My Oma in Grand Bassa might not understand what you meant by this. My people in Nima County might not understand what you meant by this. What do you mean to the common or the local people? What are you trying to say here?
To the local people, Liberty Party must come together. That's it. Liberty Party must come together and be one party. This is how when I'm in Bassa, because the Bassa people, their Liberty Party business are not small thing. Like their Liberty Party business is not a small thing. So they don't know, they're confused, they're hearing all kind of things that are not true. What we say to them is, what I tell the Bassa people is, Bassa people, because just like how there's so much division in LP, there's all these issues. Even our Bassa politics is very divided. And we've been talking about reconciliation within the Bassa politics. So the way I explain it is that if the people want development in the county, they must learn to speak with one voice. Because if you look at someone like the president, like George Weah, who is going to be running for election again, right? George Weah will say, the Bassa people, they can speak with one voice. When the Bassa people say they're going somewhere, this way, that way, they will go. So my people, we got to make sure we give the Bassa people what they want so that they can come to us. It's the same thing within LP. In order for us to have the power that we want, to be able to sway or persuade or motivate or engineer the results, or help to engineer, when I say engineer, the results of the 2023 elections, we must come together. Joseph Boyka, Cummings, whoever else is going to be running, not going to choose any institution to be vice center bearer if the institution is divided. So the bottom line is, if we want to really make a difference, we must come together as one. Strength in numbers. Everybody know that one. Strength in unity. It's a simple political concept.
I know you will answer Seku's question. But let me just add this to it, please. Just as a side question for you to please carry on it. This will be my last question for today. Most recently, I think a day or two ago, and I still will be corrected, there was, I think you guys were in Grand Bassa. Senator Yombly Kanga was there. I seen the video. Also, former chairman Steve Zago was there. And Steve Zago kept using the word, I got your back. I got your back. Now, I know this question should be directly directed to him as to what he meant, but I want to ask you, what does that mean to you?
Are you the FBI, your FBI or CIA or KGB?
Circle back to you. Circle back to you. What does that really mean?
Because
So
we're
that was speaking in code.
gonna let her go anyway. But go ahead and answer Steve's question, please, if you can.
It's funny because you're two of y'all, y'all know everything. Obviously, y'all know what happened to me. And let me just say to you, sometimes to my own detriment, I protect people. I protect others. Because I, specifically within the Liberty Party, because I want us to reconcile and unify. I will not get into too much detail as to what Steve Zago meant. But y'all know, And many people know what Steve Zago meant when he stood, the man from Lofa, the senator from Lofa, when he stood in Bassa and said, I got Councillor Brumskine's daughter back. You know what it means. But yet and still, we want to keep the party reconciled. We're here to hack. We're not here to air dirty laundry because we're keeping it internal. But Steve Zago knows a lot that's happening internally, and he wants to make sure that Bassa people know that Brumskine was the one who lifted many hands and got many folks elected in Liberia. So do the right thing is what he was trying to say.
All right. So on that note, I want to say thank you very, very much. I was just going to ask you a question, then you answer that and then close and give me a closing statement. But people can stay around because there are a lot of things that came out. We will talk about it. I would have loved to have you here more than 1 hour. But again, we can stay rescheduled for another time. This time around, I think it should be on a weekend, wherein we're going to be on the radio in pretty much in about 9 or 13 countries in Liberia, so we can have another conversation. I'm loving the conversation.
Me too.
Yeah. So, and I promise you that it's not going to be a conversation that will be hostile or that will make you to feel like, I can't wait to get out of here. No, we don't do that.
Thank you.
So before you leave, we all spoke of, peace and unity within the Liberty Party. I've said again over and over that I'm very close to Liberty Party people because I got a lot of friends in the Liberty Party, more than any other political party. Except for recently, developed a lot of friendship now in the ANC. I got a lot of good friends, people that I know long time ago in the Unity Party. People were surprised to see me in, the Unity Party co-chair for administration operation or in my house here, having, Atai and me together. People were shocked. But those are friends that we had before politics. So similarly, I have a lot of friends in the Liberty Party. So what I want to see is unity. So you spoke of unity. You have gone at your own detriment, according to you, just to protect people. And this time around, we expect you to go at your own detriment to make sure that Unity Party is united.
Yeah.
So what message, I want you to give message to every person in the Unity Party.
Liberty.
What message can you give them right now that you think will help unite the party? What message can you tell them? Everybody involved.
I think the message has been consistent. I am not one to waver. I think, I pray, I meditate, I consult before I make decisions. And it's unlikely that I will change my decision. My position has always been reconciliation. What does that mean in a very practical sense right now for Liberty partisans in the US and in Liberia? It means that we must come together. We must recognize the leadership as determined by NEC and by the Supreme Court ruling. There will never be any perfect leader. No political institution in Liberia has a perfect standard bearer, a perfect political leader, a perfect chairman. But what we do is we work with the leadership, holding them accountable with the right constitutional documents and with the votes of the Liberian of the partisans. Liberty Party, come back together. We have a critical election right at our heels. We need to be the ones to decide which way Liberia will go. It is up to every one of us. Whoever believed in Cllr Brumskine, even if you did not like him, you believed in his vision, you believed in his ideology, you believed in his principles and the principles of this party. The party is not dead. Our founding father has left us, but the party is not dead. There are many people who still espouse the values that Cllr Brumskine had. Come back to Liberty Party, hold your leaders accountable, hold yourselves accountable. Let's move our country in the right direction.
That's great. So should we consider that as your closing statement, or you want to have a closing statement?
I just want to say that's my closing statement, but I want to say thank you so much. This was actually one of the best interviews I've had. I think that you guys were so prepared. I did not actually have done more research on the two of you. I did not do enough research because y'all obviously know more than any interviewer I've had. You guys, this was a great interview. Thank you for trying to uncover the truth. Thank you for not being belligerent, not being antagonistic, and not coming. I don't think you came with a mission. You didn't come with a preconceived notion. No. So this is really enjoyable. Thank you so much, and I look forward to coming back.
Of course. Thank you very much. It will be very soon.
Yeah,
we'll reach back to you. All right.
That was Cllr Charlyne Brumskine back in 2022, July to be precise. It was a great interview. And since then, we have been friends. We've been communicating, from time to time. When she came here the last time, we communicated. She's a good human being. And whatever you believe, what will happen on the 27th, we don't know. Whoever going to be named, we will not say it. But whatever the case be, this lady, she's very intelligent, smart, and she is a patriot. That is for sure. And she has a great sense of humor. She also somebody that actually not only an accomplished person, but she believes in herself, and she's confident, in herself as to who she is and what she's capable of doing. I did not know that she was going to be in conversation for VP, and I asked her the question that time, 2022, July. She said, you heard her response, right? She said, if she's given the opportunity, of course, she will do it. That she believes she may not be ready to be president at that time when we spoke, but if she's asked, she will accept it. We don't know what's going to happen on the 27th. We will listen, we will watch, and follow everything. We'll bring to you everything that we know. So my friend and brother, Tomale George, came and asked whether this was a live show. No, this is a previously recorded show back in 2022. I want to say thank you to all of you. This is now a normal show. We just decided to play the video today. And those of you that contributed to SKTV, want to appreciate you. I want to say thank you so much for always, helping us to keep the show going. We appreciate everything that you do for SKTV. We will leave it here for today. And then, I don't know what kind of song I want to play here. Yeah, so I don't know if I got any music for her, but we'll try to find out if there's any music for her, because every politician in LeBron nowadays got music. Well, yes, indeed. It was nice being here. We'll see you. Today is what? Today is Tuesday. We'll see you on Thursday. I think we're going to have George Wisner with her here on Thursday to discuss everything CPP. You don't want to miss that. Trust me.
Hey, I'm making the people that feeling my heat. T12 on the beat. You must show me respect when you calling my name. Oh, show me respect when you talking about me. Yeah. You must show me respect when you calling my name. Oh, show me respect when you talking about me. Yeah. You must show me respect. Show me respect. Oh, yeah. Show me respect when you calling my name. Yeah. Show me respect when you talking about me. Yeah. Up in Ghana equal. Yeah, yeah. Up in Ghana equal. Baby. Call me the pro. Call me the call me the shiggy. And I do it before, I can do it again. Call me the dada, I can do it again. You must show me respect when you calling my name, oh. Show me respect when you talking about me, yeah. You must show me respect when you calling my name, oh. Show me respect when you talking about me, yeah. You must show me respect. Show me respect, oh. If you don't know about me, why call my name? If you don't know about me, why spoil my name? Because I'm a musician, ah yeah yeah. Because I'm a footballer, ah yeah yeah. Because I'm a politician.